Okay, so this is UnknownChaser. So with this episode's podcast, Coldasfire's audio actually got fucked up, and so about 20 minutes in, she completely lost audio and remains that way for like the rest of the podcast. So I had to edit out any discussion that was with her because that would have been incredibly awkward or so. So yeah, not my fault. Okay, enjoy your podcast. Bye.
Warning, the following podcast may contain spoilers, actually it will contain spoilers, and the content may or may not be suitable for children of all ages and sizes. But anyways, welcome to the round room.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Not suitable for fat people.
Alrighty, and we're off to a great start. And we're off to a great start by getting background noise.
Yeah.
That I will edit
Yeah,
out.
good job.
Welcome to the Round Room, episode 4.
Guys, so we made it to episode 4.
Oh, I had to say that too?
No, you're fine.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I'll just do the editing stuff.
Magic editing.
Just keep
Well, I
keep
don't have
talking.
anything else to say.
Shane.
Okay, so guys, we're at episode 4.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Okay, episode 4, yeah.
So we should probably introduce ourselves so people know who we
Yeah.
are.
Shane, go.
Okay, so I am Chainoffire from the Keyhole, administrator over there. I also edit at the .net occasionally, and I'm just a lowly
the .com.
user there.
Yeah, we're .com.
Yes, I
now.
realize that.
Alright, oh hey, and
Ha.
I am UnknownChaser. I am the god editor of the podcast, and I am a guy on the wiki who doesn't do anything and yell at people.
And gets worshipped by
too
no one.
true.
Yep. I'm probably the most hated member
Didn't
of
RDB say
I hate you
he
all.
enjoyed
Right under-
editing with you or
Oh,
something
I'm
like
not gonna
that?
say their
I have it
name.
on good authority that you are not the most hated member of the community.
We're all thinking of one person. But,
Just keep that off the air.
yes.
And I am the administrator and bureaucrat at the Kingdom Hearts Wiki at KHWiki.com.
And I am Coldasfire. I am not your host today whatsoever, but I just happen to do the introduction. I don't really edit, but I try. That's about it.
Yay!
And also, you're this podcast special guest star.
Yay,
Do-do-do.
Sparkles Cake!
Do-do-do-do-do.
And she does more
Yay.
editing than the three of us combined.
What?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah.
So,
Alright. Let's open up with news, since on our last in our last episode we kind of skipped news in favor of our special presentation of creepypastas. So let's start off with news.
Which apparently the internet really loved. So thanks, internet. Thank you to the 5 or 10 people who actually watched it and stuck around through the entire thing.
Thanh you. 5-10 people,
Alright, that
you're the real
reminds me.
MVP.
Yeah. And also that reminds me about the spooky guys. Did you guys like the special editing I did on it?
It was
You guys-
it was beautiful. All that smoke.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, all that smoke. Did you guys hear the spooky background music that was happening the entire time?
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
really-
because I totally
Yeah.
watched the entire thing.
Yep. We all
I did.
watched the entire thing.
I needed something to listen to on the metro.
Exactly. So, beautiful editing. Your editing does not suck.
Yep. The
Those are high compliments coming from him.
I'm such a...
So,
So hey, so we should move on to news now. Now that we've been rambling for like a few minutes.
Hey,
or so.
rambling's good.
So since the last podcast, a few news has happened that I am not gonna bring up and we're gonna discuss. So this goes all the way back to October actually, because we skipped
And
over
we are
October.
slackers.
So at I think it was New York Comic Con that happened in October. Nomura showed off his redesign of Catwoman, because earlier this year he showed up a redesign of Batman. So now it's obvious that he's gonna do Catwoman. So guys, does this pretty much confirm DC is gonna be in Kingdom Hearts?
we confirm nothing.
I mean, I think it's a sign that Nomura is gonna give up the video game business and go to DC Comics.
Yeah, because his character design
It
totally
was
works.
pretty badass.
It was both the
Which one,
Batman and the
Batman
Catwoman.
or Catwoman.
hmm
But it's just opening a lot more doors for Nomura. It's getting his name out there.
He's padding his resume.
And
Yep.
he in one hand he pats his resume, and in the other he's petting his black cat. He's petting his black cat. evilly. Like, look at me taking over the world.
He will take over the world, one gaming franchise, and media franchise, and entertainment franchise, but another. Started out
Hey,
small.
as long as it's not a sign that he thinks that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to suck, I'm okay with whatever he
Kingdom
does.
Hearts 3 better be good.
There's a lot of hype built for it. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
kudos
yeah,
to
yeah,
him
yeah,
for
yeah,
sticking
yeah.
with it.
Yep.
Yeah, that has been building for like 8+ years now. So yeah, it better be. It better
Mhm.
be
I
good.
mean, to be fair,
And he dropped off of Final Fantasy 15 too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was a
Yeah.
big thing for him since he was involved a lot with that, and
and it lasted years.
it lasted quite a while. Yeah,
10 years.
yeah, somewhere along those lines.
8 to 10 years or so now.
Yeah.
He's so quickly about this Catwoman design. Is she wearing a bodysuit? Because I can't understand it.
She's wearing whatever.
Because I think she's wearing a skin tight suit with armor on it. That looks like it's xenomorph or something.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah, it's like some weird. It's like so she has some weird visor. Power Rangers helmet going
Yeah.
on. She has the generic video game female armor that exposes her boobs, and she has some weird stuff that's going on in her body, and then she's wearing some thigh.
And that tail, though.
No, what's it called?
That tail, though,
what's
yeah.
it-
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that tail. Well, I have no idea what it's called. I think it's called, what was it? The belt things on her
I don't know what
legs.
those are called.
I don't know what it's
The
called.
straight from Kill la Kill straps.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and she's wearing some weird kill armor. So yeah.
And a gun.
So, Nomura. She has a
Yeah,
gun.
on her right leg, she has a gun socket.
So I did not know. I did not see that when I saw this image like last month.
If you look at it, the first thing that will, or second for some people, the second thing that'll come to your mind is, Keyblade armor, because it looks very
Ooh,
Tetsuya
right.
Nomura designed.
Oh yeah,
I could totally see that.
we
as
never
Keyblade
talked
armor.
about the.
I hope we see more armor soon. though.
Because the helmets, it's got the little like rabbit ear things. It's got the visor. It's just got that
Yeah.
overall design of Keyblade armor.
Jeez, everything he does.
Hmm.
Yes, I think that's the only way Nomura knows how to design armor.
He does it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which reminds me, speaking of Keyblade armor, real quick, I'm gonna go on topic. Did you guys read that interview that he did with Silicon Air? Because that's all he talked about.
We noticed.
About
Mhm.
about the Keyblade armor.
No, we did not. Or no, I didn't.
Apparently his Keyblade armor thing has been in the workings way before Kingdom Hearts 2 and all that shit.
Really?
Apparently in an interview he said that the Keyblade armor was recycled from a canceled project he did
Oh.
that he's never gonna reveal.
One
I'm
of the many
thinking
secrets
like
we'll
Kamen
never
Rider or
find out.
something.
It's probably think some weird Final Fantasy shit.
Probably. It might have been. Wasn't there a canceled Final Fantasy game?
There's a lot of canceled
Well, yeah, I know, but
shit.
one that was like really hyped up and then just dropped off a cliff like no tomorrow. It was like one I'm thinking of.
Are you thinking?
Final Fantasy 15.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's the one that had. I think it was like Project Titan, or I'm thinking of Blizzard right now.
You might be thinking of Blizzard. I think it was like called Versus Third. I mean, it was.
One of the spin-offs.
Yeah, or maybe I'm just thinking of
I-
Dissidia for Kingdom Hearts.
No. There was a canceled Final Fantasy project, but the name is escaping me because I don't remember what it's called. Because for some reason I have Blizzard in my mind right now. Hold on, it's not. God damn it! Because I read the goddamn article a few weeks, but I completely forgot. But I completely forgot what's the name of the project.
We'll bring.
I'll just put in the link. I'll just put in the link. No, Fortress. There we go. It's Final Fantasy. It's
Oh
Fortress.
yeah, yep.
There
That's
we go.
it.
Found it. Fortress. That's where I got Titan from because I was confusing it with. Yeah, it
Time
was
to trigger.
Project Fortress. That was the canceled project. So it may have been for that, but the problem with that production began in 2008, and 2 came out in 2006. So
Yeah.
so unless so that doesn't work out with time travel and
Yeah.
shit.
But
yeah,
speaking
anyway-
of design,
anyway-
there was something else he designed too, wasn't there, Chaser?
Yes, there was. But before I go into that, Keyblade Armor came from a canceled project he did that we will never know. He said that he may or may not ever revisit that. So, who knows?
We'll never find out.
So, yep, because Nomura is Master Troll like that. So that's it for in the realm of DC and Kingdom Hearts 3 news. That's gonna happen, because I'm calling it right now.
Keep going.
It's gonna happen. So besides from that, also at Comic-Con, I believe it was at Comic-Con, Nomura announced that he's teaming up with I don't know if it's actually a company that does Volcroid, but he's teaming up with Volcroid to do his own spin on Hatsune Miku, where he showed off his weird redesign of Miku, which in a surprise doesn't feature belts and straps and zippers. So that was a pretty big shock when I saw it.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
Yeah.
There's a definite lack of
I saw
zippers and belts and just
and
Nomura, yeah.
And Nomura trademark artwork. It was really weird. I was like,
but something else I noticed, it had, first of all, it looked rather realistic for
and really
a
creepy
Hatsune
too.
Miku thing.
It's because we're Square Enix. Goddamn rendering.
It reminded me of
design.
13 a bit with the design of the skin. I don't know, but it looked really good. The video was strange, but
the video was creepy as shit. Cause she has like blue eyebrows and then she has regular eyelashes, and that was really weird.
But yeah, that was a pretty interesting thing coming from Nomura. Came completely out of left field from him. But speaking of designs and clothing with belts and zippers, which this one does not have, there was a T-shirt that was designed from Hidemi Matsuzuka. And
dude, good pronunciation on the
thank
name,
you.
by the way.
I slaughtered it immensely.
Beautiful.
And it's got it hasn't been released to out in public yet, but it is just the design. It has a hard crown and Oblivion Oathkeeper, and I think I'm looking at a small thumbnail here, but I think that's the Wayward Wind. Maybe.
No, it's Oathkeeper, Oblivion, Kingdom Key, the crown symbol, and Destiny Island. If I recall.
And it looks like Destiny Island.
And they're all in this like this portrait
picture
frames, like they're in these picture frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, picture frame thingies.
And the crown looks like it's in a locket of some sort.
It's Matsuzuka, by the way.
Thank you. I needed that. And the biggest thing to come out as of late is the collector's edition of 1.5 and 2.5 with
Japan
an official Shadow plushie, the soundtracks for 1.5, 2.5, and the
soundtrack.
Sucky little pin that laughs at Americans.
Yep.
For those of us grounded away
Square
from
Enix
Japan.
hates the West. We're the West, right?
Yes,
we're the West.
We are the West.
Podcast. I'm just gonna ask that
for Christmas. I'm getting you a compass.
Nice.
Although I am more West than any of you.
I always wanted a compass.
But it was a limited edition box collector set, and it has been
got released
sold
shortly.
Yep.
Got released shortly after 2.5 got released.
And it's been little under a month or so, about a month since it's been released, and it is completely sold out in Japan. Is it sold out in the States as well?
No, it's basically every other country except Japan and Australia collector's edition, because no one cares about Australia and Japan already has too many good collector's editions.
Shout out to New Zealand.
Yeah. So I guess New Zealand actually gets something good for once that isn't Peter Jackson. Shot fired at Peter Jackson.
No, Peter Jackson got New Zealand. Not the other way around.
Oh yeah.
And Narnia.
Mm.
Because Narnia was filmed in New Zealand. Fun fact of the day.
So what is it? I think the collector's edition was announced last week, and it has already sold out. Because they put up a tweet talking about how there was like 25 left, and then a few minutes after they put that out, they deleted that tweet. So I'm guessing it immediately sold out after they put the tweet up. But fortunately for me, I pre-ordered my copy.
Wow,
I'm
good job.
Good on you.
That just means you'll have to do
Yeah,
that
I'm
much
gonna
more
wait.
research for the wiki.
Well, you know what the best part is? I'm gonna wait a few weeks after the game's released, and I could probably sell that for a good profit.
Because it was about $99.99 in America. I don't know how much that is in yen or euro, and what other currencies are out there. But it was about $100 in American monies.
You could resell that for a good amount.
And apparently there was only 5,000 copies made.
Yeah,
So-
and they are all
That
gone.
No.
That seems...
No, not 5,000, 10,000. I think it was 10,000. There's only 10,000 copies.
That's
It's
a
either
little
5 or
better.
10.
That's a little better.
Yeah, it's probably 10,000 copies made. I probably could be messing up my facts and numbers, but hey, it's sold out. So to all you that are listening to this now, sure pre-order it then.
But 2.5 will be coming out in its normal form on December 2nd in America, and I believe December 4th in the PAL regions.
So get hyped, all.
Yeah, so yeah, get hyped. I probably have the
I'm
beta.
already
Train
hyped. I've been
boarded.
watching all the footage of the Japanese version.
Yeah, I
It's
have
looking
to.
really good.
Shout out to Everglow.
And other people too. Emiru
Dude, shout out to-
Yep.
and
Shout out to
And
Cyberman.
Cyberman.
yeah,
That
Cyberman.
guy.
Those are the big
Dude,
three
the
for
guy-
me.
Might as well.
Cyberman,
Hey.
Emiru.
Hey guys,
Never
we're
go.
affiliated with Cyberman, right?
We are.
Aren't we?
That's-
Are we
We got
affiliated with Cyberman?
connections.
Yeah. I feel like we did something with Everglow, maybe not.
KH13
Nah.
does stuff with everyone.
KH13
That's
is a lot
right,
of stuff.
Yeah, because KH actually thinks they're better than us.
Yeah, they have an alliance.
They
And
are.
apparently Everglow has their own website as well. It's called Sora's Dream.
Nice.
So yeah, totally check that out.
Sora's Nightmare.
Dumbest website I ever heard. That's some creepypasta stuff going to be written. Someone should write a creepypasta called Sora's Nightmare for
Oh,
us to read
dear.
this year. Or in February. Depending.
Sure.
Story time with KHWiki.
So besides from that, there's one more news that happened recently involving Kingdom Hearts, and Nomura did a illustration for Utada for her new, I think it's a
Album
new
art.
album that's just her old song just re-released apparently. That's pretty interesting about this album art that I will put in the link up, or in case people haven't seen it so far.
Go in the link dump.
Yes. If you look into the water of the album art that he created, there's an HP bar and command. What do you call that? Not command port. Command menu. Thank you. I'm awesome.
Yeah, commandment.
Command menu, Kingdom Hearts style, that has. I think it's like sing as where the attack is supposed to be, and it's got like summon and charge. Yeah.
No, it's command, sing, charge, magic
Yeah.
item.
And
So guys, this confirmed that she's gonna be in Kingdom Hearts, that she's gonna come back for Kingdom Hearts 3.
We wish.
I hope so.
Nothing is
I would like
confirmed.
for her to do the theme song again and not just get a reorchestration of the two existing ones.
I hope so. I like the ones that she's
Because
done
I would
so
love a
far.
new
No,
song by her.
Well, Square Enix gotta milk that music
Yeah.
license somehow.
That is true.
I'm amazed Square Enix hasn't actually remixed both songs into one song yet. Because I was wondering if they were gonna
I can
do
see that coming.
They might as well just do that. They have the license to both songs. They might as well.
Mm,
Because, you know, licensing went well with Deep Jungle.
Yep. Yeah. Can't forget that
Good
great
times.
that great licensing they did.
So, with that, we will move on to the topic of the day, which is...
Alright, so we know that Kingdom Hearts series is full of mysteries and unexplained elements, and all throughout the history of the series we've been picking up stories and looking at things that we don't understand in the story, missing pieces, questions that we have basically there's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know. And as the series goes on, we both get new questions and we get few answers. And we know that when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, we're going to be getting some more answers.
Along with some more questions as well.
Probably. But we'll be finding out stuff about, like, Keyblades and the Keyblade War, and probably we'll be finding out a little more about Sora's power of connecting hearts together.
And the Lost 3
Yes,
Venterra.
definitely. Alright. So, while we will be learning new things as the series continues, the fact is there are a whole bunch of things in the past games that, let's face it, we are never going to find the answers to.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nomura is a giant.
There are lots of reasons why we won't get answers, either because they're not important enough, or because they're basically plot holes that they're going to ignore, or
Nomura is just a giant ass troll, and he just liked to mess with the fandom as much as he could.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That
Sora's
too.
a master troll, by the way.
So what we are looking at are the mysteries of Kingdom Hearts that will never be answered, ever.
Which is pretty much every question in Kingdom Hearts.
No. We'll be finding out things soon.
Joke.
Fine. Alright, so
That's the
I've
joke
got
factor.
quite a few things that I've, listed here. To be fair, a lot of them are from Kingdom Hearts 2 because of 2.5 Remix, but because I've been paying a lot of attention to that, but they're, all over the place. So, I can just start going through some of these.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, at the end of the first Kingdom Hearts, to be fair, some of this stuff is going to be kind of cinema-sinsy, but I think that's okay.
I will love
Okay,
it.
so first of all, Donald and Goofy, why did they where did they get their clothes changed? At the end of Kingdom Hearts, in the closing scene, Donald and Goofy and Sora are walking down the path.
Crossroad.
Yeah, towards the crossroads, and Donald and Goofy are for some reason in their Disney clothes instead of their Kingdom Hearts clothes, and it's like, what?
Oh, like at the beginning of
that
Chain of
too.
Memories?
I mean, it's great
Yeah.
that they, remember to keep that consistent. It's like, why did that happen? There's no reason why that should have happened.
Well, it's obviously that, yeah, it's magic. Yeah, it's
That's
magic.
right. It was Donald's magic.
It's magic.
It was Nomura's magic.
It's the hearts and dreams of little children across the world that's doing stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's magic.
So is it like that Dragon? Is it like that Dragon Ball Z where like the little kids lift up their hands and they're blocking the meteor? So in this one, they just like the kids believe hard enough, they'll change clothes.
Well, they also have to clap their hands.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah, that too.
And they have to close their eyes and wish about it 3 times.
So then I don't understand why they took out a certain piece of clothing in the 2.5 remix.
Oh.
If you
Yeah.
Exactly.
Alright, so here's
those-
a few
yeah.
other mysteries that we're never going to find out from, like, the series in general. Sora's parents. I'm pretty sure this is never going to come up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video games.
His dinner
Okay,
has been thrown away.
we never-
Everyone knows that video games characters don't have parents. They're either not important or they're dead.
Except
Yeah.
that we have confirmation that Sora has both a mother and a father. Or at
Well,
least
I guess they're
he
not
had a father
important
at some
enough.
point.
Well, I guess they're not important enough to be in the series. That's your reason.
Mm-hmm.
Why
I
did they
half
not?
imagine that maybe after the Xehanort saga is over, the next series is going to be Sora trying to find his secret Keyblade master father or something. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen.
So basically,
Yeah.
are you basically gonna go on that stupid Pokemon theory route? Is what you're saying?
That was
Yeah, pretty much.
in the Pokemon
Yeah, the one where Ash's father is some secret guy that's on a journey. He's gonna appear when Ash starts to begin to suck even more. Because Ash doesn't suck enough already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering why they didn't like immediately start drilling Kyrie for answers. Like, cause she was missing for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, she's back. Where are my other two kids?
To be fair, her leaving and her coming back were about the same time as the island disappearing and then coming back. So they probably didn't notice she was gone.
That could be it.
Do you know what one of my favorite mystery about the Kingdom Hearts series is? I have a good mystery.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You know what my favorite? My favorite mystery about the Kingdom Hearts series universe is?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Why does Square Enix not release official names for us? Because we want those official names.
Oh.
Because it took us
for the
everything.
Organization members.
That and for everything else. Because it took us. What was it? Birth by Sleep Final Mix came out in 11, and it wasn't until this year that they finally released the name for the Unnamed Heartless.
Oh.
Oh yeah, those things. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least they officially named Lingering Will and Master Xehanort and such. So they're doing better. And best of all, they released the name for Hunter of the Dark, which is now called the
Darkhide.
But apparently
Darkhide, thank you.
But apparently, according to Shard, it's actually a pun of Darkside. Because his name is that. Wait, it was either Shard or it was Neumannz that pointed out that the katakana or something was spelled differently than the translation.
Well, we don't have the English spelling.
Yeah.
All we know, although to be fair, a lot of the pureblood Heartless are dark something.
That is true.
Except
Dark
for
Side.
2 of them.
Square Enix with the master naming.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Ball, the
Dark Follower,
Dark Side,
I think that's one of them.
Stalker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although Hunter of the Dark was a good guess.
I wonder how much people are
we got Dark in there
to come up with these names. Do you think the naming job is a good job at Square Enix? Like someone sits at an office all day, he's coming up with
official Heartless namer.
That guy gets a good pay. Like he sits in an office cubicle and they just paid him whatever.
They probably have like 4 different offices, one for each type of enemy. It's like, I feel bad for the unversed guy. It's like you're in, you're out. You're done.
Although I think the Dream Eater guy must have had fun with his, especially like the localizer, the localization.
Yeah, speaking of mistranslations, holy crap, that was bad for the Dream Eaters.
Really? I thought it was pretty awesome.
Well, for just mistranslating on the Wiki's part. That would help a lot.
There wasn't much we could do because pretty much all of the Dream Eater names were Japanese words.
And there were puns.
That is true.
And there were puns.
Yes, puns.
Yeah. Which don't exactly translate too well.
Yeah, which is why all the the fan news sites had the Meow Wow's name as Wonder Meow, even though it was clearly supposed to be a barking and meowing pun.
Right. But yeah, so I completely forgot where we were.
Right.
Sora's parents. Yeah. They're
went off topic for a second there.
For a whole
but it was a good side discussion.
I guess the theory should be that they're so used to Sora disappearing for weeks at a time that they just don't bat an eye anymore.
Yeah, because they probably spend the night on the island occasionally too.
Yeah.
So, I can imagine just Sora coming home, opening his bedroom door, and there's just like a bunch of plates of dinner that span over 2 years, just sitting by his door. Like, dang, he's not eating. What's going on? Why are we out of dishes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I would expect to get sick of that pretty soon, but
But on to the
I'm
next
gonna-
theory.
Or next topic.
Yeah, I'm gonna list a few
That will.
quick ones from like
Mhm.
Kingdom Hearts 2. First of all,
Mhm.
where did Roxas learn how to ride a skateboard?
That was actually.
Wait, isn't
I know
isn't
that
from
answer.
due to the fact that Ventus
Yep.
rode the weird Keyblade skateboard glider thingamabob, and then his knowledge of that passed on to Sora, which then passed on to Roxas.
Is that where
Yes.
we're going with?
That is
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
That's where I heard
Yeah,
it.
Alright.
that's where I always thought his
Okay.
master skateboard skill come from.
hmm
All right,
Even when he lost his memory, he still retained the
muscle memory.
information of.
Yeah,
Muscle
Yeah.
memory. Thank you.
yeah, because everyone knows that the most important skill in the Kingdom Hearts series is learning how to ride a skateboard.
That is
Or-
true.
You can't do anything without that.
Jet ski.
If you do the entire Kingdom Hearts 2 without a skateboard, you're gonna have a bad time.
That reminds me, has someone ever legitimately hacked Kingdom Hearts 2 and played throughout the game on a skateboard? Because if that actually happens, that'd be pretty great. Someone should do that.
That'd be pretty fun. All right.
Because Ven in Birth by Sleep can ride the Keyblade glider, so that transferred to Roxas's muscle memory. Yeah. So. Oh, I really hope the trio gets them. Destiny trio.
Is that what we're calling them?
Axel's Keyblade armor.
that-
Oh,
Is that what
yes.
we're calling them? The Destiny Trio?
Yeah. Oh, I just have different names for the different trios. Like, the Sea Salt trio is Axel, Roxas, Shion. The Twilight trio. I just kind of named them all, but not official or anything. Kind of a mix of what I've saw on Tumblr and my own personal.
Tumblr once again with the
So-
master. God damn, I lost my train of thoughts. All right, well, I lost my train.
All right.
So-
Next one. Here's one that actually got some theories. I think back in the day, Yen Sid at the end of the short part with Sora, Donald, and Goofy in Yen Sid's tower, Yen Sid gives them back their gummy ship, and then he disappears in a beam of light, and then he disappears. And there was like a whole bunch of speculation, like maybe he's not really there, maybe he's dead, maybe something. But then he ended up showing up he ended up in Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 3D, and it's like, no, he was there. So
Yeah, he's there. Maybe that's why he's retired, quote unquote.
So he is a wizard.
So basically, the mystery is, why did he have to disappear at all? What was the point of that?
Yeah.
But they weren't even watching that.
Well, the thing is, notice Ericus didn't intervene at all during the events of Birth by Sleep. He could have gone after all three of them and gotten them back. Yensid did the similar thing in 3D because he wanted to test them, even though it kind of led to three of their inevitable dooms and almost Sora's. But you know what? That's the perks of being a master.
It happens.
I like how they go to him for help, and he's like, okay, and disappears. Doesn't help
Yeah.
at all.
Incidentally, semi-related mystery. Who is responsible for that train? Like the design of that train. Do you think Yensid designed that train based off his own hat? Because that doesn't. It seems a little bit, out of his jurisdiction.
Yeah, in City.
Maybe that's his hobby, designing ridiculous things based on his hat.
Well,
Give that train a
he's
star.
old.
Trains
He's
love
old and retired.
stars.
He needs to do something with his time. He might as well do that.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah,
gonna do
lots of
anything else.
stars.
He just sits in his room all day and talks about how darkness is gonna happen and how people should do something about it. Yeah, he's too lazy to do anything himself. He makes other people do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's too old for this
Right.
shit.
Darkness, hats, and train designing. That's his
Yeah.
hobbies. That's his
Makes
hobbies.
sense.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's
And beard
about that
stroking,
train.
yes.
Since Ansem programmed it into the Twilight Town simulation, That means he must have seen it at some point, right? Like, did Yensid just have it randomly appear in Twilight Town for...
You mean Diz?
Yeah, Diz programmed it into the simulation. So does that mean that Yensid sent the train to Twilight Town for reasons and Ansem just happened to see it? Diz?
Well, there is, my speculation on that is that while Diz was collecting data in Twilight Town, since we do not know the what happened with King Mickey and his disappearance since the first game, my guess is that maybe Mickey was writing that at the time and he just happened to see it come through.
Maybe.
And program that into the data.
That's possible.
Also, kind of another theory that I'm just kind of throw it out there. It's like a theory I had about the data world. I think that like the 7 mysteries of Twilight Town were just kind of glitches.
No, weren't
But-
they?
They
weren't they
weren't
7
really.
glitches?
But yeah, well, yes and no. There were 7 glitches, but on the other hand, I'm pretty sure in Days, Penn still mentioned the 7
Wonders
Yeah.
of Twilight Town. Yeah.
or he made some kind of
Okay.
passing reference to them.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
But
But-
also, that is you tie into another important mystery that I've got. And this is actually a pretty big
Mhm.
one, but I still think they're never going to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
How did Organization 13 open up a dark corridor into the simulation of Twilight Town? How is that even a thing?
Yeah, that is strange. It's like darkness and data. Right, because they kind of touched on that a little bit with Tron's world as well. Not the grid, but the space paranoids.
But
But Sorry,
that
go
kind
ahead.
of then begs the question of, let's say one of the inhabitants of the simulation of Twilight Town went through that dark corridor and ended up in, the world that never was, but that would basically
Mhm.
mean that we'd have 2 of them in the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet Maleficent and Pete were able to travel between the
Yes,
two
that's
freely.
another one. How did Pete... Okay, well, no. We know that Pete managed to get into the data world in that light. And then Maleficent somehow teleported to him.
Mhm.
Because she can do that, apparently.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so... But there are
because
other
screw you and
there are other
Maleficent.
questions about that. Once they're in, why did Pete have the ability to control the bugs?
Yeah, that is quite interesting.
But see her. I don't know. The bugs, they're.
Because Maleficent can, I feel like they touched upon that a little bit, saying that she was having a little bit of trouble in the data world too. Because didn't they have to help her get out and
Well,
everything?
they did have to help her get out. That was kind of because they got stuck in that fight against the Neo Dark Side,
Mhm.
and then they got lost, and then they had to be saved by Data Riku before they left.
Right. But, so, in a sense, Maleficent can't control data, so why can she control the Heartless?
Yeah, she just. I mean, it's possible that while she was there, the Heartless in the data had enough similarity to real life Heartless that it was basically analogous.
hmm Dark data,
Yeah,
in a sense.
But I think it was a side effect from Nominee's.
Memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nominee,
Yeah.
it's her fault for everything. I think we can all agree.
Mhm. Dang it, Nominee. I think another... Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and the big hole that's underneath them. Did they make that? Because if you look at
And
if you
what is
look at
that?
like the buildings that are on the edge of that hole, you can tell that when they were built, that hole was not there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then like later you see like huge swarms of Heartless coming out of that hole. But yeah, that hole is, and then the castle over.
Well, you gotta. Well, you kind of gotta think, what is the world that never was in the first place?
That's true.
It came from. Remind me where it came from. It was like it was the cause of nobodies. It was built by the nobodies.
I don't know. I don't remember
something?
if there was actually an origin. But the whole world is basically a mystery because we have huge questions like who lives in this city? Their lights are on in the buildings, and
yeah,
and we have a truck that's got a car accident, and what was in the truck? Who was driving the truck? Was it an accident? Was it foul play? Was anyone arrested? And what's the rent in those apartments? Because damn, that city looks awesome.
And can
Memory Skyscraper.
Memory Skyscraper. Yeah. Can you imagine the view from like the outside of that or the inside of the skyscraper, just looking out of your hotel room and just seeing this epic thing, and you're like, yeah, exactly. Do you know how expensive that'll be?
But
deep dive. That's like deep dive in HD right there.
Well, if that truck was hijacked or something, that means the crime rate is up, which means the rent's lower, right? That's how it works.
I guess so. And there's no like bodies of water to live by like a lake,
but
so that it can't be too expensive. It does rain a lot, although it rains up. If you watch Deep Dive, the rain is going up. Similar to the rising falls.
That's another mystery. Why are the falls rising?
There's a... That'd be cool. But,
Did they call the world that never was a nobody world? Or was that just like a poetic...
A world born of darkness?
Maybe that was just a poetic
that's
thing?
exactly what happened. I did not leave a few minutes ago and just came back. I was here this entire time.
We hardly noticed.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened.
Wait.
Exactly.
Thank you for your input, Chaser. You can go back to doing whatever you were doing.
Yes, I was here the entire... I did not leave a few minutes ago to go do something.
While we're still on the castle that never was...
Because I was talking about the castle that never was?
Yeah, in the scene where Naminé and Kairi meet, and then there's a light, and then Sora uses his Keyblade to summon a bridge somehow. Why does that bridge has really jagged edges for some reason?
I never really noticed that, but now that I think about it, it kind of did. I think it might be because who did create that light bridge, by the way? Was that Riku and Sora? I don't remember.
Sora used his Keyblade on the light that came from Kairi and Naminé meeting.
That's right. Well, there's so many things strange with that, but we can possibly either it's a bad connection, he's running out of battery.
The Keyblade is running low. Needs to be recharged.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I feel like the chains are... Yeah, that's true. But I feel like the chains are more of Ericus's theme.
Yeah, wasn't that on
Yeah.
Ericus, because that's his weird fetish?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably... It might be...
Maybe.
That's probably a characteristic of the light, is that it's a lot sharper, and it pierces the darkness in a sense. And... Yeah. And the dark is more, like, slowly taking over in a sense, like a cloud of smoke or something. So it's probably just a characteristic of the light. I've never actually noticed that before. But you never see light like swirling, and you never see darkness in a straight line.
That's true. I really like the dark corridor effects, like when those are open. It's pretty cool. Not in the first game. That kind of sucked. But after that,
it was just like go from world to world.
Oh yeah, here's something that I don't understand. So they're talking about how opening dark corridors kind of corrupts you with the darkness and all that stuff, and that's why you have the coat or the armor.
Right.
But there's a lot of people going through those that aren't wearing any like protection, like Sora.
But Sora was in the gummy ship, and I'm sure the gummy ship was
But
helped to resist that
let's
in a sense.
let's think about it. We have Pluto, Kyrie, Sora, Donald, Goofy, and at the end we have Riku and Mickey. But
wasn't Riku going through his weird darkness phase during that point?
no, I'm talking about at the end.
Oh, at the end, okay.
Yes. Riku was wearing the coat for a while, but at the end he only went through one, so I don't think it had much of a toll on him. But if you look at Diz, yeah. And I guess that could also apply to Sora, that one, he didn't go as much, as it didn't have an effect on him because it only happened once.
Well,
and then
no,
and then he used the gummy ship from World of the Worlds.
I just realized something. In 3D, Sora apparently still had Ventus Keyblade armor. That's why when Riku went to Sora, the Nightmare armor show. So doesn't that mean every time that Sora goes through the corridor of darkness, doesn't that technically mean Ventus's Keyblade armor is still taking effect on him? Or am I just...
I don't know.
What do you mean taking
I mean, they always had to
effect on him?
activate their armor before they went into the lanes between.
Yeah. But
Right.
maybe there's some weird secondary effect that we don't know about because Square Enix is Master Trill and hides all the good stuff from us.
Nah.
So that could be a reason why.
It's probably just an insignificant or just deep detail that doesn't really need to be answered with words and just kind of has to be inferred.
So basically, don't show anything, don't explain anything, just show it, and people will go along with it.
But if you noticed with...
Because Square Enix just makes it work.
This is a side effect of wikis, going this deep. But also, if you noticed, like, when Diz was wearing his red ribbon...
His belt armor?
His skin was a lot darker, and his eye was yellow, which is a side effect of the darkness. So perhaps he was...
I'm not convinced of that anymore. It seems these days that it's really a side effect of Xehanort.
That could have been it.
Maybe the darkness is Xehanort.
But that doesn't... But Xehanort was... I mean, we didn't see him before his interactions with the darkness, in a sense. Like, before Master Xehanort was... got obsessed with the darkness. So to us, he always had yellow eyes, so perhaps it is a side effect of the darkness?
Maybe.
Because before 3D, there was kind of a little bit of a rule, in a sense. It was like, blue eyes are an effect of the light, yellow eyes are effect of the darkness, and green are those of the in-between.
Didn't young Xehanort had yellow eyes as well before he went to darkness, like young Destiny Island Xehanort? Not not time travel young Xehanort, but the
Still
Xehanort
standing on the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, that Xehanort had the had yellow eyes too, didn't he? If I remember, I don't know, because I don't know if his in-game model actually went into that detail when.
Perhaps it was because fate already determined his path. Thus, they're like, just give him yellow eyes. I don't know.
By the way, on this...
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I just checked.
We're being like eye
checked.
racist.
Young Xehanort did indeed have yellow eyes before he became time travel young Xehanort. That must mean something.
Maybe. By the way, still on the subject of dark corridors, you guys may... I don't know if you guys may have noticed, but in the corridor made by Organization 13, the one that led from the simulation Twilight Town to the world that never was, there's a lot of nobody symbols going around there.
Oh yeah, the betwixt and between.
Yeah, how did they do that? Like, there's another corridor in the it's one of the new scenes in the Recoded in the 2.5 remix, where Maleficent,
Pete
Pete and
Maleficent.
Maleficent are going down a corridor, and there are no symbols there, and it's like, did Organization 13 figure out how to customize their corridors?
That's also a hobby of retired people, designing their corridors.
I like the fact that
It was Jensen again. He would have stars everywhere.
oh man,
I can see Ericus's with like chains.
Jensen's corridor would be like purple and green and flashy and sparkly and really annoying.
With trains.
$10.
Trains.
$10 says there's a really big zipper in Tetsuya Nomura's office, and you open it. It's a dark corridor, and it's got up a lot of belts everywhere.
Wow.
And you can like zip and unzip the portal.
I like how Axel was clearly camping out in that corridor until Sora came by.
Yeah.
Didn't Organization 13 had control over that? Technically had control over that corridor since it connected between.
I don't know. Axel left it when he after Roxas beat him. Got left behind, and Roxas just ignored it and was there the whole time.
But wasn't it technically an Organization 13 portal that any member could have technically accessed it? So that's why Axel just kept going between and forth with that portal, and they just left it.
Actually, the only people seen going through that portal, besides Sora, Donald, and Goofy, is Axel and Pluto, via Axel though. But
that reminds me of another thing. So we know in that scene where Sora and Donald and Goofy are going down that corridor, but right before they enter that the portal to that corridor, Mickey was with them. And then when they leave and they're in the world that never was, Mickey's with them again. But through all that time they're inside the corridor, Mickey is nowhere to be seen.
oh my gosh, I never realized that.
He took a very, very long time to walk to
Long
get inside.
detour.
Maybe his detour was the fact that he was going to look for another Keyblade. That was something different.
Walks in. Where the heck am I? Where are my friends? Why are there belts and chains everywhere?
Mickey is ridiculous. Here's another thing. Oh, first of all, we know that Nomura has made it clear that there is a story to be told about Mickey's time.
Mickey's absence.
Except there is this one absence during Kingdom Hearts 2 that makes no sense. And that is when Mickey jumps into the corridor after Xemnas in Hollow Bastion. Like, when Xemnas leaves, Mickey jumps after him. And then suddenly he shows up at Twilight Town. And he's like, guys, guess what?
I'm trying to remember this.
Okay, so it's at the end of the War of the 1,000 Heartless, and they make it to that spot by that overlooks Villain's Veil. Villain's Veil is another one. Like, where did it come from? But anyway, Xemnas is there.
Yeah.
He gives he takes us his hood. Mickey says, I know him, that's Xehanort. They chase him to that spot. He says some stuff, and then he summons a dark corridor, and Mickey jumps in after him. And then we see nothing of him until Twilight Town.
Perhaps, well...
Like, seriously, how is he getting... How is he doing? How is he even getting around?
Well, he might still have that Star Shard.
Okay, that might be true.
And there's a possibility that Xemnas went to Twilight Town and he's been stuck there ever since. I mean, we don't know where Xemnas went either. We just kind of assume the world that never was because that's where we see him next.
Yeah, he could go all over the place. Who knows?
In a sense, like... Oh, there's a theory. Maybe dark corridors only take you where you want to go.
That's true. To be fair, in that corridor that went out of the simulation of Twilight Town, it didn't have an opening, like, it didn't have an exit until Axel opened it.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's an neat theory.
I mean, that's the
Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Oh yeah. But also, I do want to point out that that portal is technically a part betwixt and between. It is technically a part of Twilight Town and not the world
That's
that never
true.
was.
In game,
Because if you open the journal, Twilight Town's logo
yeah,
pops up.
in game, it's counted as part of Twilight Town.
Yeah. And I don't know, I didn't actually look, but you know how you go into a room and then the title card pops up? I think that says Twilight Town as well.
That's probably true. Oh, by the way, this is not one of my mysteries, but I was just always wondering. During the final battle in Kingdom Hearts 2, when after they enter Kingdom Hearts and the whole thing starts up and they're going through all the buildings and stuff, there's this one part where Sora goes through a doorway to a new area, and just like normal, you have the 3 question marks at the bottom. What I wonder is what happens if you turn around and go back? Do you find it?
Sorry, which part? Like,
so it's the beginning of the fight, the final battle, and it's the part where the buildings come out of the ground and Sora has to slash through all.
Oh, okay, that part.
And then he passes through a kind of doorway, and you see the 3 question marks on the bottom of the screen, which happen when you go to a new area. What I'm wondering is what happens when you go back.
I actually tried that. You cannot go back. A block reminder that says I shouldn't be going this way or something like that pops up.
Never mind then.
I did try that, so
that answers that question.
Yeah, there's that. We also don't know what that room is called because we can't pause it.
The only way to do that is...
So I'm pretty sure everyone has a name that no one ever bothered to look at the data file for. Because I'm pretty sure it does have a name, but no one's ever thought it was important.
Xemnas' Battle Room 2.
Not exactly true. There was the time where we were going through all the rooms and doing our best to find all the names, including the hackable stuff. So it's... Well...
Yeah. Believe it or not. Well, in a sense.
I mean, some of it involves just bugging the people who can do stuff to do stuff.
Guys, can we budge Shard of Truth to do this now?
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it. We'll discuss this. But and you can't even though there is a moment where there's nobody fighting, you can't pause in the first room as well because
you're in battle
just
mode.
Goes to the battle thing.
Battle mode,
and
basically.
Yeah, you're in battle mode for the rest of the game.
All right, let's go on to next item that I've got. Okay, so here's a good one. This one's got like a ton of stuff. The mansion in Twilight Town.
Yes. Oh, the backyard.
The backyard. Yeah. Well, I think it might be a courtyard, but yeah.
Yeah.
Someone built this mansion at some point, filled it with a bunch of winged unicorns, put a fancy courtyard statue, and whatever that little display thing is in the front. And let's see, what else have we got? We've got the White Room. We've got a dining room with a broken table somehow.
Table.
Like
a broken chandelier because the chandelier landed on the table.
2 chandeliers fell on that table. How did that happen?
Oh, I remember a scene. I don't know why. I think I've only seen this like once or twice, but I remember there was a cutscene in there with, I think it's Riku and Diz or something. And he like doesn't he smash the table?
I don't think so. But
I thought I remember a cutscene in there. But I don't know why I don't remember it as well. It's very faint, but I thought I remember a cutscene in there. Maybe it was just my imagination.
At some point someone does thump something.
Or, guys, you know what it could be?
Oh, yeah.
It could
but
be an
either
earthquake.
way, it was just...
It could be that. Dude.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of Smash stuff.
I'm kind of confused as to why Diz decided to sit in there for that scene, because what's going on in that room? Nothing. You got a broken table.
Right.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to my cloaked friend here. Let's go to the dining room and just sit next to the table.
Well, how else are you gonna greet your guests? You greet them in the dining room, because it's a formal room. That could be it.
All right, so
okay.
what was I? Oh yeah, Do you think Diz built that, like, the computer room and all that high-tech stuff underneath the mansion?
Yeah, I totally think that.
Well,
Because mansion is old as hell.
what I think is that the mansion was already there. I think he said it in one of the reports that he found it, and he probably just modified it to his liking. Like he probably built the basement, and he either built the extra white room or just painted that room or something.
To do that, all that himself is pretty impressive. If he did.
Yeah, but I feel like the rest of the mansion was already there.
Yeah, probably.
Because it kind of takes on the theme of this is gonna sound weird, but it takes on the theme of like unicorns because of the statue in the backyard, the one in the library.
They're like and there are unicorn
and
things
there's like stuff on the walls and such. So I'm thinking somebody else, because this doesn't scream unicorn to me. And there's no unicorn stuff in the basement or in the white room that isn't painted over. Oh, actually, I don't think there's
the white
anything
room is just weird.
That I can
I
recall.
think we can agree on that.
Yeah. But regardless, in the new edition stuff, there's no unicorns. So I'm thinking that I have two theories then. The reason the stuff is all broken and not Diz-themed is because he just broke in there like, we need to be here, and he killed everybody, and there's a big brawl. And it's like, I don't like these unicorns, it just broke everything. And then took over. Second thing is, possibly the nobodies broke in or something, and he had to fight them off.
That's possible.
And they couldn't get into the white room, and that's why the basement was covered up instead of just laying out in the open.
But it's weird, because in Days, no one really paid attention to that mansion at all, like, from the organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that was really shown was the fight with the lizard.
Yeah, and Axel confronting Shion in the front, but he didn't exactly, care about the mansion.
Right. It just happened to be in front of the mansion. That's about it. But yeah, so the mansion's kind of an enigma itself.
Dude, that's what it says on the Wiki article, conveniently. Yeah,
really?
It literally says that. It passes an enigma. I know it because I looked at the article before when we were talking about this, so I know what the hell this courtyard thing was. Dude, the convenienceness of this. Dude, but you know what? Mansion's weird. So I think the main story of this is that
because there's broken pillars
is that we should not trust old mansions because stuff can happen.
Stuff can certainly happen.
Pretty much. So I hope there's something revealed about the mansion, because it's like it doesn't need to be a mystery, but it is. It's an
I
unnecessary
think it could go either way on
mystery.
whether they answer it in the end or not.
Yeah. But something else I kind of just want to go over quickly that I noticed, Yensid's tower. Notice how far each of the enemies get through. Like, the Dream Eaters aren't... They only get as far as the front door. The
shadows...
The unversed don't even get on that island, I believe. I don't think there's any unversed.
No, you can fight unversed out front.
Can you? Okay. But they only get as far as the front door. The Heartless, I think, they get on some of the steps, but the Nobodies go all the way to the Yensid's office, if you want to call that.
The door to his office.
So that kind of shows you the power of each of these species, and like
that might be true.
How comparatively, even though he built that for a barrier, they still got to his front door, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
And then he left.
And then he just leaves. But it's like, I don't want people breaking into my stuff. All like 6 books and a table and my mirrors. But still, don't break into it, and a save point.
Mm-hmm. And his books.
But I mean, unless you count the books, which since it was in the dream world, I don't exactly count that. But because that was weird in itself. But it's kind of interesting that it shows the power of...
You can think of it like that.
Because he did say he put up a
Yeah.
barrier.
Alright, let's see. What next? Now here's something that I've always wondered. This is kind of a nitpicky looking thing, but you notice that
The
when
shoes?
anyone uses a keyblade, they always have the teeth up. Like when Sora holds his keyblade battle ready, and let's say he holds it out in front of him, the teeth are pointed up.
Mm-hmm.
But if he ever needs to unlock something, he points the teeth down. And it seems a little weird that he has to do that. Like, why?
I think the
I'm
teeth...
surprised that he doesn't just fight with the teeth down.
Because hold on, because isn't that if he holds the teeth down, wouldn't that be more top heavy then? Because because gravity stuff, right? So there's this thing called gravity, right? And weight.
Oh yeah,
and,
the gravity
and
thing.
weight.
I forgot about
and
that.
There's this and since if the teeth were facing that, it would require more strength and energy to actually wield with it. Because if he holds the teeth forward, it would be easier for him to strike down or strike with it because the weight of the teeth would make it go down. If you get what I'm saying.
That could be it.
Because it's science.
If you think... True.
Science.
But if you think about doors unlocking and locking stuff, you kind of have to turn one way to unlock and turn the other way to lock things, so that could be it. Like, he unlocks things with it pointing up and locks things
I don't
with
know. I only
it pointing down. I think that's what you said. Sorry, what's the kind of confusing a little bit.
I'm talking about during battle. Well, pretty much anyone who fights with a keyblade, they hold it one way when they're fighting, and they flip it over when they're using it to lock or unlock.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, when they're kind of holding it, the teeth are down.
Yeah.
And then it might be the gravity thing then. And then he just has to unlock it. I don't know.
It's weird.
It is strange. I never really noticed that. The things you notice when you edit a wiki.
Here's another thing.
Or when you pay close attention to a game that whose plot is a confusing mess.
Yeah. Here's another thing, and this is a little more cinema sinsy than pretty much anything I've said so far. In the scene during or right before the Battle of the 1,000 Heartless, Goofy gets hit in the head. He goes flying, hits the wall, and basically he's completely knocked out, and everyone thinks that he's dead.
He's dead.
How did none of them check to see if he was, breathing or had a pulse?
Well, there's an easy explanation for that. Video game logic, because they don't need to know.
That they're all idiots.
Yeah, it's video game logic.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I
mean, you could go the completely bullcrap way around. Is like, things work differently in that world. They don't have pulses. They just have like, they have spiritual pressure, or like they can feel their mana or something. I don't know. Even though Goofy has like no mana whatsoever.
Or Goofy does not have no have no hit point at that moment.
And then they just leave him there.
Yeah. Nobody decides to, take
They
care of
don't-
it. Well,
they
they
don't-
thought he was dead. They're like, we'll go back for his body.
They don't even try casting Cure on him. Or
Potions or anything.
they don't cast Raise.
Phoenix Downs, Raise, Arise. Except for Raise doesn't exist. It's just Cure.
True.
In that
There is
universe,
Auto Life.
for simplicity's sake. There's Auto Life, but that's only for the player, really.
Yeah.
Apparently he had equipped and it just took a bit to, kick in.
Sure.
But, just a second.
Alright.
But, do you have anything
I got
else?
a couple from Recoded. So in the beginning of Recoded, Chip and Dale press the magic button that makes the computer expand, like instant computer.
Yeah, because that's how computer works.
Yeah. And then they're going for a while, and then there's an alarm, and then Chip and Dale leave. And then the alarm stops. We never find out why an alarm went off and why they left.
In
Recoded.
In Recoded?
Yeah, Chip and Dale go out of the room.
Yeah, what
the alarm
alarm?
stops, and then that's it. We don't know what the alarm was for. There was no explanation.
You're talking about at the beginning? Yeah, and if you look around the room like the person I am that just looks around rooms for scenery and stuff, there's no alarm. There's no lights that go off, or there's no lights that are sitting there.
Lights.
There's no speakers. It's just there's the red effect.
I mean, it could be an internal speaker, like in the computer.
That could be it. That could be it too, but there's like no visible, siren lights.
Yeah, so they run out, go to what I suppose is the server room, and then the alarm stops, but we never find out what the alarm was for.
Wasn't it for the discovery of the what's the word?
Bugs? No.
The bugs, yeah.
No,
basically.
there was no.
The corrupted data, that's what I was...
No. The data came first. There was an alarm there, but this is a different alarm that happened at some point before the light that brought everyone into the datascape.
Maybe it was just somebody... that was the point where somebody infiltrated... I almost said penetrated, wow. Infiltrated the castle. And they're like, what was that? Oh, we don't know. And they just kind of cut the alarm.
Maybe, but I mean, it'd be kind of weird for the computer to be, make an alarm over that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you could set stuff on your computer like somebody has walked into your house and they went in unapproved because you turned on the...
Well, that might be true.
Secure.
But the castle doesn't exactly strike me as very, tech savvy.
Secure. Yeah. I mean, it does have a front gate, which you never get to see. You only see it in the distance in Birth by Sleep, which doesn't make
Wait, what
sense.
castle?
But
Castle.
Regardless, Disney Castle.
Wait, which castle? Both is at the same time, so.
Disney Castle.
Oh, Disney Castle. Oh, that castle.
Yeah. But if you kind of think about the atmosphere in Disney Castle, or in Disney World as a whole, there's nobody really to worry about breaking into during the events of Birth by Sleep. Like, you could worry about Pete, but he's not very much of a threat at that point until he meets Maleficent.
Mm.
And the Unversed were only really there to race, and they never got into the castle, far as we know. So it's like, why install a security system?
Oh, that reminds me. The one of the Rumble race courses that go through the castle. There are very techy areas.
Oh yeah. Well, if you think about it, I guess that wasn't very techy. And that was Birth by Sleep too, so it's not like, oh, they got more technology. It's like they got less technology.
Yeah. Like the most technological thing is the gummy hanger.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go through that race and look at stuff now.
Sorry.
But maybe it's like the computers underneath the castle.
Maybe.
For the gummy area? I don't know. There's probably... Do we know that that's actually the Disney Castle? I mean, it is called Disney Castle Racecourse, but...
Maybe it's not explicitly stated, but I think it's assumed that that's the castle that they're going through.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps the racetrack, can shift in a sense. You know, like when you pull a lever on train tracks, it goes one way, it goes to the other. Perhaps there's something that kind of changes the race course depending on what race goes on.
Could be a magic castle.
Well,
because the castle.
Because Disney.
Because isn't the castle at Disney was actually called the Magic Castle or something like that? I believe.
Yeah, I think
it's actually called a magic, so it could be a magic castle. Yeah, there we go. Figured it out.
Rumble Racing.
Oh
my gosh, Rumble Racing
song.
at Disneyland. Oh my gosh.
Really?
It's called go-karting.
That'd be beautiful. No, that doesn't count.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Maybe that's their secret project.
that would be cool. All right,
But
let's see.
any other theories that
I got
you...
a couple more.
Okay, we'll have to make these.
All right, so since we're talking about the gummy ship stuff, the gummy roots. The Heartless ships and the Nobody ships. The question I'm stuck on is how did they get there? What are they doing there? The Organization 13 somehow made these huge fleets of dreadnoughts and somehow opened up to the gummy lane and stuck them all there and just left them there, waiting for a Sora to come by.
Well, since the dreadnought is kind of the biggest thing, it's probably to protect the castle in a sense, but for the lanes between, it's probably just to inhibit Sora on his travels.
I guess. But
is my
it's
guess.
just crazy that they built this ridiculously huge thing, because Organization 13 doesn't seem all that big. Like, even with the Nobody minions.
Yeah.
And for something like that,
I do see what you're
for
saying.
something like that, it seems like the production value is ridiculous.
They have a lot of screw the rules, I have money kind of thing. Shout out to Little
Like,
Creator.
do they have like a hangar where they built those things? Did they have them floating? Like, I think the Dreadnought's a little bit bigger than the castle. So did they build it?
I think so
did they
too.
build it in space?
I don't know.
So yeah,
Maybe they can create nobodies on an instant.
Maybe.
You know, because they could be like, just create dusks.
well, I mean, I know they can.
So maybe they're like,
they can demote to
Zigbar's-
dusks. I don't know if they can create dusks so easily.
Yeah. Well, they probably have this supply of hearts that they probably have, like, banking accounts where it's like, these hearts go towards Kingdom Hearts, these hearts go towards creating nobodies and our army.
So
And-
maybe it's like Kid
and-
Icarus. They have hearts to spend on whatever they want.
Exactly. And Demix just, like, bought this huge ship. I can see Demix just spending these hearts and then them getting after him. Like, dude, what did you just do? I got a
spaceship.
I got a
I got a
dreadnought.
fleet of spaceships.
And really,
We didn't even realize
We're
they
like,
even built race.
where did you get the funding for that?
Did they even build this, or did they just use magic and just conjure that thing up? From what I've seen, no one ever built anything. They just used magic and created out thin air.
I mean, it's fine to say that, but that would take a
Yeah.
huge amount of. I mean, I don't really know
Mana
about
in
like
a
the
sense,
rules
or
of
life
magic.
force.
But
Well, hold on. Well, if
Yeah.
Zemus could transform into a giant dragon thingy, then I'm pretty.
well, he didn't. He was riding the dragon.
Okay, well he could. Well,
That
he
is-
could summon a giant dragon thingy then, or whatever. If he could do weird stuff like that, then it shouldn't be hard for them to create like
Yeah, that's an
spaceship.
interesting question. How long did he have that dragon in that little ball thing on the side?
Like how long
Yeah.
he's been saving that thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How long has he been saving that entire city? Because you think about it, you have to go through a door to get to that place. So it's not the same area.
Right.
So it's like he's been saving an entire dragon
for that.
and buildings to throw at you.
That's true. He did kind of wreck up the place at the end there.
Yeah. And and actually, if that would explain why, you know how there's a certain point where Xemnas is like, we only need a few more hearts to complete Kingdom Hearts, and you can go back to other worlds and defeat like 20,000 Dusks, and you're still at the same point.
Right.
I'm guessing that is because they still have yet to pay for the debt of Demix spending on the Dreadnought.
He had to take out some huge loans.
Like, he got a loan.
Huge loans.
He got a loan from he got it from the Moogle.
The organization.
He got a loan from the Moogle, and they're like so far in debt. They had the Moogle in his castle, or in their castle, selling stuff. for promotional value. And then all that stuff. Mystery solved. It's Demix's fault.
And I like how the Heartless that slipped into the gummy roots just happens to take these crazy traveling forms.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
All right,
Life finds a way, you guys. Dude, that's some Jurassic Park philosophy right there. Life finds a way.
That's right. Don't lose your way.
Oh, I should probably. All right. This is where probably copyright starts happening. So that's as far as I'll go with the theme.
All right. I think I got one more.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So we know, according to the story in Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora is unlocking these gates, like these objects that shine, and he wields the Keyblade, and the symbol shows up, and he unlocks the gate. First of all, I find it. I'm guessing that these objects become gates, like, when they're near him, because it seems kind of random for the gate to always have been the membership card, or or Jack's compass, or what was another one of those random ones? A bubble in Atlantica.
Yeah. Because, Bubble's not just going to be sitting there.
Yeah.
In the first game, they kind of made sense, a little more sense than the second one did.
Well, those were like the keyholes to the heart of the worlds, when these are quote unquote gates. And
and there's just a gate in front of the train station.
Yeah, and so my question, besides that, is, what did these gates actually do?
I think Sora, in a sense, created these gates, or the Keyblade created these gates, so that Sora could travel from world to world without being harmed,
that is,
in a sense, from the darkness.
That
itself.
is not a bad answer, except let's think about the gate at Atlantica, the gate at Pride Rock, and the gates that happened at the end of the War of the Thousand Heartless.
Okay.
Nothing got...
So, going in order from your announcing, Atlantica is a bubble.
Yes, but it didn't open any route. None of those three opened any routes. Like you could say...
What was Pride Rock?
Pride Rock. Well, since the Pride Lands was the last world on that route, nothing really... no pathways got opened there.
Wait, hold on.
Perhaps.
I don't remember because it's been a while, but wasn't Atlantica just a completely side mission throughout the entire game? So that's why it was a bubble, because it wasn't that important. So it'd be like, sure, it's a bubble.
But there was still a gate.
Well, yeah.
But it went nowhere.
Well, it wasn't an important gate, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just there, like, oh yeah.
Just like,
it's a bubble. Might as well.
Yeah. Sure.
But perhaps it was because gates need to be opened from both sides. And since Atlantica and Pride Rock kind of are dead ends, then you should kind of think about Olympus Coliseum then too.
Yes and no. Yes, there wasn't really a path that opened, but on the other hand, I think that was the point where Disney Castle opened up. I think.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps. Because you kind of do have to go in that order.
Yeah.
But, But yeah, that is an interesting find. I don't know why. What was the one after the Thousand Heartless? Was that just in,
That was... as soon as... that was the one where Sora, Donald, Goofy fall into, quote-unquote, the realm of darkness, except not really. And then, and then Riku leaves them the box, and then the ice cream is the gate.
Oh, yeah.
That whole scene makes no sense.
That whole scene is screwed up. Just want to
also,
that out.
but the best part of that scene was that this moment is the part where Maleficent becomes basically irrelevant.
The anti-hero.
She's like the joke of the rest of the game.
Yeah. And she's like, this castle is going to be mine. This is going to be mine.
Except not really.
I want this. But not really. Yeah. I feel like Maleficent's role has died down a lot since the first
I think they're
game.
planning on bringing her back at the end, which is why they had her scenes in Kingdom Hearts 3D and then in Recoded the extra scenes. I think they're planning on making her more of a threat. But yeah, she's...
Yeah, I hope her role becomes bigger than what it was in 2 and Recoded.
Yeah. Because right now she's kind of sidelined.
What if they're hinting that Maleficent is the true villain this entire time, and we're just not seeing it?
Maleficent.
Yeah. Dude, maybe Angelina Jolie is the real enemy this entire time.
I don't want to see any Xehanort Maleficent fusions going on.
I actually don't want to see that. I wonder
if that's an actual thing. I'm gonna look that up right now to see if that's an actual thing. You sparked my curiosity now.
Oh God, what have I done?
This is why you don't edit.
Okay, right, I can either get something good, or I'm just gonna get weird, creepy fan fiction.
All right, I think that might be all I got on my list.
Okay, nothing comes up. I'm really disappointed. I thought something cool was gonna come up, or at least weird, creepy fan fiction, but that didn't happen. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, the only other things that I can think of are basically just plot holes, like why did Donald and Goofy not recognize Yensid's tower, or why is Ursula back from the dead in Kingdom Hearts 2, and why does Ariel...
Did they actually say they didn't recognize the tower?
What it was is that when they are confronting Pete, and Pete says it belongs to old man Yensid, and Donald's like, Yensid lives here?
Oh, yeah. Maybe he thought he was renting the place. And
wait,
not
which
actually,
tower? The mysterious tower?
No matter what, that's going to be a bullcrap theory. Either it's going to go the chain of memories route.
It's basically something that they decided to ignore.
We're talking about the mysterious tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They basically decided to ignore that in the later games. It's just like, they actually were here before. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they got their memory messed up, and that's why.
Maybe he doesn't actually live there. He just, because that's why he disappears. He just works there.
He's subletting the place.
Exactly. He's like, I found this land. I'm gonna pimp it out and make it mine. This will be my new office.
I found this floating island.
Mine. And then Maleficent's like, wait, he has something? No, I must have something. And then that failed. And then Maleficent's like, oh, the castle that never was. That will be mine.
Maleficent didn't do anything in
the data world.
The tower while she was there.
No, but she got Pete to do her bidding for that.
Well, he didn't really do anything. Well, no. Here's how it started. Pete was there trying to take it over, but it didn't work. And then he basically left. And then Maleficent, well, her raven came in with her cloak, and then she got resurrected. And then she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, yeah, she kind of did get sidelined, and they're just...
finishing now.
It is just a plot hole. It happens. The games aren't perfect.
Kingdom Hearts is just a giant plot hole at this
point. I still love them.
That's literally what it is. Can that be the next subtitle for the next game? Kingdom Hearts 3 plot hole.
I feel like we're going to get a few of those with the new
Mix
game.
Plus.
And Final Mix Plus HD re-HD remix.
And Knuckles. Don't forget and Knuckles. Can't forget.
And
you always gotta have.
And Knuckles on steroids.
Kingdom Hearts 3 and Knuckles. With the adapter port.
Special, dude. That's gonna be a special edition right there. That's what's gonna have.
You're gonna hook up all your previous games to Kingdom Hearts 3 and unlock new content.
Actually,
but since Ubisoft is involved, there will be microtransactions.
Yeah. Also, they won't be able to render like women and children.
And the game
because those are too hard to render.
And the game will be broken first day.
First day patch.
Yep.
Second day patch.
Every day will be a new patch. And it will be a new patch every day to fix the previous day patch.
It'll be an advent calendar of patches.
There we go. It'll be like, and then there will be like Japanese only patches, and then he'll re-release the game with the Japanese patches, and then he'll be like, "I'm sorry, I'll never do that again," and then he'll do it again. Some other things that I guess are insignificant. Where does Jiminy go?
At what point? Oh, right. I think he's hiding in Sora's hood. You notice that Sora never uses his hood.
Or Sora's
That is
giant
true.
pockets, because or
That's
his
true. He never uses his pocket. Well,
or his
he might.
He does have a bunch of zippers.
He
and
might
stuff.
use his pockets for like items, because we don't know where they keep their items. So he's got lots of pockets.
That's true.
I'm guessing his hood because he jumps on his shoulder a lot.
I think the real question is,
So-
what does he do in Atlantica?
Oh wait, hold on.
He's probably transformed too, or just he's a
Or-
bubble.
He's a
Wait, hold on.
plankton.
I just
He
realized.
gets
I
his
just
own air
realized. He
bubble.
doesn't.
He's a
I
plankton.
just
yeah.
realized he doesn't hide in Sora's hood. He hides in Sora's freakish hair, because
That's probably. It's like the Chocobo with Saz.
it's literally what
Oh,
that
yeah.
is. He's just chilling the hair all day. Dude, it's warm enough at that point, and
He's got
he never gets disrupted.
He's got a couch in there, maybe a mini fridge.
Yeah, he got to pass the time somehow.
He pimped his home there too. Everybody's just claiming new houses. It's beautiful. And I think I don't really have much
Yeah.
else. I mean, something that I kind of want to see
Mm-hmm.
is that accessories start appearing on Sora.
Oh, that would be cool if we actually saw
That'd be nifty.
more changes other than the equipped keyblade and weapon.
The equipment, yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really the only significant, if you can call those things.
Well, we can
But
hope for the best.
yeah, that's all I got for right now. And it's getting kind of
Yeah,
long.
let's
I'm gonna try this
So,
fucking podcast on mine.
I think a few shout outs before we do a few announcements before we skedaddle. Though, first of all, check out, start sending us questions for
definitely
our next
send us
podcast.
questions. We want
It will be the December Christmas podcast.
Wow.
Yay! I don't know
If
if
we
we're
have
supposed
enough
to say that, but I
questions.
said it anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Or else we will have to make up our own questions. And do you know how embarrassing that
you
would
guys
be?
can ask us pretty much anything that has to do with the games or the wiki or
Ask us anything, really. There's no
that's
limit.
true. We can just ignore you if we don't like your question. So send us anything.
Pretty much.
We'll sort it out ourselves.
Ask us our favorite, type of popcorn. We might answer it. Our fetishes, we probably won't answer that. But we will at least laugh at your question and acknowledge it.
Exactly.
We may laugh at your question. That is our right.
Also, a reminder, we apologize for the editing of this because UnknownChaser is doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, dude, God. Fuck,
And
I heard
the-
that UnknownChaser guy is a complete dick. What an asshole. I hate that UnknownChaser guy.
Yeah, I know. He sucks
Yeah, I
at
know,
editing.
yeah, he really sucks at editing.
Rah, 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 rabble, rabble.
And be sure to check out the Let's Play that will be coming out soon by Grandmaster Arcturus. I think that is how you pronounce it. I apologize for any mispronunciations, but it's like the stars, Arcturus.
Dude, it's
Yep,
gonna
we
be
will
on our.
be doing-
It's gonna be on our own Wiki's
Mhm.
channel.
Yeah,
That's
we
gonna be
are.
We're getting an official Let's Play.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
This is
Dude,
a
it-
joint. This is
It
a joint
us.
project.
It took us 2 years to get that Let's Play going.
Yeah. And, by the way, send your questions to Kingdom Hearts Wiki bcrats@gmail.com.
That is all one word.
Yes. Please sign your emails so we know who it's coming from, or we are going to say your embarrassing 7th grade email during the podcast. So please sign them. And as the last announcement, the Keyhole recently got a Tumblr, so if you have a Tumblr and you want more Kingdom Hearts things, be sure to check it out. Ye Old Keyhole. That's YEOLDE, and then keyhole.tumblr.com.
What can we find on Ye Old Keyhole at tumblr.com?
You can find, plenty of reblogs, of course. Final Rest recently made an OTP shipping game.
I have no idea what that is.
Which has been getting a lot of attention.
What the hell is an OTP shipping game? Someone explain like in 5 what that is.
Well, it's a click and drag game where there are 5 sets of gifts, and you click on it and drag it, and whoever pops up, it's like a bunch of flashing images. So whoever pops up is the first part of your ship, and you click on one of the other squares and drag it, and whoever pops up on that one is your partner in that OTP. It's pretty cool. It's gotten like 500 notes and everything. We're so cool.
Okay then. Well, that sounds.
And you can see all the wonders of Xehanort's hands. I will link that in the description.
Lovely.
Take that as you will.
I hope this Tumblr blog does better than my own Tumblr blog. Then I'm gonna.
I actually followed you.
Really? You actually follow me on my new Tumblr blog or my old Tumblr that got banned because of my.
Oh, I don't know. I just found a really old wiki post by you. It was either you or Ari. I'm pretty sure it was you. Maybe
it's probably you, because someone knows my Tumblr blog because I'm a loser.
No one knows my Tumblr blog.
Yeah, it's
no, I am not sharing my Tumblr either. Everybody keep those secrets.
All right. I believe we are now done.
Hey. Dude, what a great podcast, and I hope I didn't say anything because it wasn't due to the fact that I went downstairs to eat food at some point.
Well,
I'm goddamn hungry.
This has been the Round Room episode 4. Hey. I am still Nezzy.
And insert Calf's thing here. And I have been Chainoffire. Thank you for listening. I hope we didn't kill your time too much.
And I am Food Chaser, and this has been a great podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I apologize for everything he said.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next episode.
Bye.
Peace out.
I love most of you.